Good afternoon. How we doing?
What are the challenges a short week and short travel week with Thursday game presents to you guys?
Yeah, quick turnaround. Obviously, you got to put the last game behind you and then get right on to your next opponent. Obviously, guys have got to get their bodies right. Study. Make sure they know the game plan. So, those are some of the challenges. But we've done this before, and today the walkthroughs look great. I think guys are dialed in.
What's the challenge, the biggest challenge that Bears defense presents?
Yeah, I think just overall, man, just a very talented group. I think maybe one of the highest paid defenses in the league. They got first rounders all across the board. They got Pro Bowlers everywhere. Their fronts just filled with so many great guys. We know DT's there. We know about him and just the way that they're playing, man. They're playing hard. I know their record doesn't always show just the effort that you see on film and on tape, but those guys are playing hard. They're playing inspired, and that's something that we got to be ready for.
So when you've got question marks at running back this week, what does that do as you think through that game plan for Thursday?
Yeah, just how we've done all season, just having guys step up. I think, Kenny Mack's going to get some opportunities, and maybe George gets in there and gets some more burn, and just getting all these guys, opportunities to showcase what they can do. We've got a ton of talent, we've got a ton of depth, and every single one of those guys are capable. And so we're just working through the game plan right now, making sure guys are dialed in, and then once it's time to get out there on Thursday night, man, guys got to show up.
You mentioned the walkthrough. I guess what is kind of the psyche of the team right now, given the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, on to the next thing, like we've always been. Business as usual. We got a lot of pros in this locker room, and guys are going to go about it the right way. And so, guys are just focused and dialed in and preparing for a short week and to go on the road, travel on Christmas, and to go out there and try to get a win.
How do you assess how you've played this season?
None of that really matters right now. I'm just focused on the next game.
How about the offense? Do you think?
Yeah, I think that doesn't matter either. I think what's important is that we get ready for this next opponent. We got a tough game coming up Thursday night.
Do you remember watching pro sports during the holidays growing up, and do you have any memories of that and what it means to be out there in front of the country for this one?
Yeah, for sure. Just memories of sitting on my grandmother's lap. She was the biggest football fan in my family, and she really, stroked my passion for the game. And, just being around family, opening presents and gifts and being around my friends and, just enjoying the holidays with family and watching good football. I think that's always been a tradition. It's definitely an American tradition, but definitely a tradition in my family as well.
You mentioned Kenny and maybe he gets to play more. What have you kind of seen out of him? He's obviously played a little bit more here these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think he's been, really, really dynamic. When he's touched the ball, man, I can think of just a few explosive runs that he's had, and just the way that he's finishing the runs, and always falling forward. He's like I said, he's a really talented guy. He's in a room crowded with talented running backs, and whenever he's gotten his chance to showcase what he can do, he's done great. And I expect the same things from him.
What can you say about the way he's taken advantage of the opportunity that was given to him? Because he wasn't seeing some time, and he stayed the course, and now he's taking advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I think what people don't see is just all the hard work that Kenny's put in, and just the work that he does behind the scenes. KP does a great job with those guys and preparing them, but he does a lot of work on his own as far as the weight room, the classroom, asking the right questions. And so, when he's got the ball in his hands, he's a dynamic runner. He showcased that. Every time he's touched it, it's been a positive game for us for the most part. And so, I think just all the things that he's doing, the little things that he's doing, is showing up in his game. And I think that's the main thing, is that he's being a true pro. He's coming to work every day, trying to get better, and is showing up on the field.
What's A.J. Barner brought to your offense this year? I know he didn't have a ton of catches, but it seems like he's come through in some big moments.
Yeah, A.J., man, he showed me a lot. I didn't get a chance to really watch him in college, and just getting to know him here early on, he was asking a lot of questions about routes and stuff, and I was like, hey, hold on, let's see, what you can do first. But the minute he's gotten out there, he's been a playmaker. Every time he touches the ball, it's usually a big play or a positive play, scoring a lot of touchdowns. That catch that he made in the end zone, not an easy catch, but for him to come down with that and give us the lead, I thought, he's just been, really outstanding in his preparation, and that also showing up on game day as well.
The Bears have given up some yardage to tight ends. Noah Fant seemed to have one of his better games. You You start to feel him coming on a little bit?
Yeah, we want to make sure that Noah gets involved and that we can be dynamic in that way. I think Noah's such a special talent, the way that he can run, one of the faster tight ends, a great pass-catching tight end out there. And so when we can get him involved, spread the ball around, allow him to win his matchups against those linebackers and safeties inside, it just gives us that extra oomph that we need to go out there and make it happen on offense. And so we got to get all our guys involved. Noah's a big part of that, and so we got to continue to find ways to get him touches.
How are they? You mentioned they have got a lot of guys up front. How are they using Darrell Taylor?
You can see him, especially on third down, man. I think, pass rush is like kind of his specialty. And, he's so quick off the edge. Again, he's a guy we faced training camp, for the time he was here. And so we know exactly what he brings to the table. They're moving him around. He could be on the left side. He could be on the right side. They got a bunch of different packages for him. So just knowing where he is, as well as their other guys, making sure we got a plan for those guys, it's going to be a big emphasis in this game.
You and Michael Penix Jr. Got a little connected while he was here at University of Washington. Did you guys talk after his first start?
Not at all. I know he's doing his thing, and I got to worry about mine.
What do you think is in the cause of some of the pre-snap stuff, penalties and stuff you guys have had this year?
Yeah, I think, it just comes down to focus and execution. We've got a number of guys who have been in there, and, I can't, say exactly what's the reason for it, guy. I think the person particularly can speak on that. But just overall, man, just execution, focus, being dialed in on the snap count, or sometimes, a guy might flinch here and there on the defensive line and causes a guy to move. But overall, man, I just think we got to do a better job at executing and focusing, not putting ourselves behind the chains. I think that'll help us out a bunch.
What impact do you think that has had on your guys' ability to score on offense?
Yeah, I think anytime you're playing backed up in the NFL is going to be tough. If you're starting out 1st and 15, 1st and 20, those are going to be, not advantage scenarios for us. And so, we talk about not shooting ourselves in the foot. We talk about not having self-inflicted wounds, and that's a key contributor. So, we got to do a better job at that. We know that. How do you correct that? You just got to lock in and focus more. And so preaching to the guys about that, making sure that I'm on point as well so that type of stuff doesn't happen.
Jackson over 1,000 yards last week. He's got a shot to break the franchise single-season record for catches. What have you seen in year two in his growth over these last few months?
Yeah, he's always been a special talent. Always been a special player from his days back at O State, from his days back in Texas. But what I've seen from him is just a commitment, to his own personal growth, and it's something that's showing up every single day, man. He's working hard every single day. He's not, taking practice reps extremely serious. He's working his game. He's trying to find new ways to get better. Again, he's one of the more talented players in this league, one of the more talented receivers in this league. But just his work ethic, his want to, and just the way that he's approaching the game every single day is helping out.
That throw over the middle on the first touchdown drive, is that kind of a sign of trust and the chemistry you guys have to pull the trigger on that one?
Yeah, for sure. Again, I trust all those guys, and I believe in all those guys, and I'm going to throw passes that maybe shouldn't get thrown at times because I believe those guys will get to the spot and make the catch. And so I'm going to keep believing in my guys and keep trusting in our process. We got great receivers, and Jackson's a big part of that. So the more that I can lean on those guys, the better off we'll be.
When you characterize him as one of the best receivers in the league, what measures are you using to quantify that? Because we could look at the numbers or the touchdowns, but there's got to be something else that you see as a separator for him.
Yeah, I think the main thing is getting open and catching the football. I mean, that's his job. Get open, catch the ball, and he does that very well. So usually the best guys do that well.
How have you seen Tyler handle a role this year where he's not getting the ball as often?
I think Tyler's been the same guy every single day, man. He's a consummate professional. He's such a great human being, and he's never once complained for the football. He's going out there, he's doing his job to the best of his ability, giving us maximum effort every single play, and I think that speaks volume to his character. Like I tell him all the time, you're Tyler Lockett. And no matter what happens as far as statistics go, you'll always be Tyler Lockett. Nothing's going to change that. So for him, he's just got to keep working, and the ball will find him. I think sometimes when you get caught up in the fantasy stuff and stats and all that, it takes away from the little things that he's done that's helped his team. And, every single week he's going out there giving us a chance to win, and that's what matters most.
What does he bring in the locker room and off the field, Geno?
Just tremendous character, a selflessness that, goes beyond measure. Being a friend, being a real estate agent, helping guys get into houses and stuff like that. So just doing it all, man. I think Tyler, again, is such a wonderful human being, and I think all the things that he's done since I've been here, speaks volume to his upbringing, to his character, and to the type of man he is.
You mentioned some of those little things that help you guys win. What are some of those things that maybe we wouldn't see with the stats?
Yeah, I mean, just Tyler draws up plays, and not for himself. He's drawing up plays for other guys. He's out there blocking. He's blocking at the point of attack. He's blocking linebackers. He's not the most physical guy in stature, but he's going out there and he's putting his body on the line. He's the most clutch receiver I've ever played with. Every single time there's a big play to be made, he's right there to make it. And so all the things that he's done, man, just being himself, just being Tyler, it brings everything to this offense.
What impact, if any, did Kerry Joseph have on your time here?
Tremendous impact. Really, really happy for Kerry to get his opportunity as a quarterback coach. Every single day, from just the small talks that we had about just life to, him coming up with red zone plays that helped me, throw touchdowns. He did a lot for me. I still talk to him often, and I'm always rooting for him.
Is that one of the things that he was big on, was red zone?
Yeah, he was big on our red zone. He designed a lot of our red zone stuff and did a great job.
Minnesota obviously brought a lot of pressure and have been successful all year. How do you feel like the offensive line performed against that crew?
I thought they performed really well, honestly. They gave us a bunch of looks, a ton of looks up front. I thought Olu's communication was great throughout the entire game. I thought we were good at picking up their blitzes and a lot of those sim pressures where we had to, slide here or sort here. I thought we did a good job at picking some of those up and they gave me time to get the ball off. I think that matters the most. And so, we're going to continue to see stuff like that just, based on the type of guys we got and how defenses want to play us. But as long as we continue to pick them up and then, obviously be in attack mode, it'll help us out.
Is the knee thing behind you at this point?
No, it's not. I mean, it's going to be there for a while, but, got to keep pushing. Thank you. Thank you, guys.